Hi, everybody. That's better. I'm trying to get a little better at all the things I have to remember to get one of these things launched. Pardon. Happy new moon. The new moon was at 10:42 last night, so we're in 24 hours on the waxing side, which is amazing. And it was a Leo new moon, but we are now in Virgo. So that means that information can be precise and exacting. It also means that we tend to worry a little bit. But I have I have something really cool to show you. So I will tell you the story. I started this project on Saturday, and I started shooting video of it because I thought this will be great because it'll be a tour of the altar, and I'll show them how to set up these lights and everything. And after I was literally screaming. I apologized to my family and put the project off. My husband had to rescue me, but you tell me if it was worth it. Ready? Wait a minute. Whoops. I gotta fix some of the things I gotta fix. Hold up. There. And who's here? Check in, say hi, and tell me where you're looking from. Where you're looking from. Where are you looking at me from? Where are you watching from? Where are you tuning in from? But first, ready? Just watch. I am so happy. I am so happy. Look at that. Ah! So I got these LED lights a while ago, and I bought them because we were going to put them under our kitchen cabinets. And then I started looking at them, and I thought, well, I don't really need disco lights in the kitchen. But the white lights were okay, except not really, they're made more to be decorative than to be functional, lighting wise. And then, I started playing with them on my live stream and like falling in love with the colors and going, I want those on my altar. So I bought a kit with all these connectors and things so that they can turn corners because it's a flat tape and it is turbo industrial adhesive. I'm telling you, once it hits something, it ain't moving. And so it's this very flimsy tape that has four wires that go through it side by side. So you can't bend it around a corner. You can bend it this way, but you can't bend it around a corner or horizontally like that. So you have to buy these little connectors that go around a corner. And the wires go RGB, red, green, blue, and then a power wire. And on the corners that I got, you have to. Oh God, I'm getting like traumatic flashbacks just thinking about it. You these little connectors, you can't get the tape under the little metal prongs unless you take a tiny, tiny screwdriver and pry every one of them up, and then you have to make sure that the backing stays on the adhesive when you slip it under these tiny little notches to get under there, under the little prongs. And because if the backing comes off, it will stick and then you're done for. And then coming out the other side, you have to match up the end of the tape so it goes, and on the inner corner was the blue wire and on the outer corner was the power wire. And I very quickly discovered that I could make them turn a corner this way, but I couldn't make them turn corners the other way. So I had to start the lights on the side of the altar that's away from the outlet. Don't let me try to explain it to you anymore. It was frustrating as hell, and you can't imagine what happens, until you get in there and try. And it shouldn't make a difference because the connectors are just connectors. They don't have power or anything inherent, and as long as the wires are patching up and matching one side to the other, it should be okay. But my husband, when he stepped in, he had to cut these long. I got these connectors that are all nice and neat together. We had to cut the wire on that and have splice more wire in so I could go from one shelf to the other. And oh my God, what a fucking nightmare. But when those problems were solved and I started on this on Monday, which I was going to just clean my altar anyway, so I cleaned the altar and installed the lights at the same time. And oh, what a payoff. I mean, what a payoff. And I have them on kind of disco lights right now, but I can do any configuration. I can shut they can go on just regular um, solid colors. And it goes from red through orange and yellow. And then we got green and turquoise, teal. and sky blue and blue blue and cobalt blue. This is my official favorite color, just in case you're wondering. This is, to me, this is the brow chakra. This is the third eye chakra color. Not, they say indigo, but if you look at indigo, like in terms of dye and paint colors, and let me stop for a minute and say, hi, Lisa. Thank you. You're Count of South America. Thank you so much, Lisa, for tuning in. And I'm glad you like the lighting. And hi, Baby Joe. Good to see you guys. Yes, check in. Check in, please. Tell me where you're watching from. But anyway, this particular color, when they talk about indigo, if you go up the rainbow, it's, blue, indigo, violet is what they say. But I see this as cobalt. It's that color that you almost can't see sometimes. It's so close to ultraviolet that it's, sometimes you can't quite see it. To me, I feel it more than see it, but look at that. Could you just drink it, swim in it? And then we have a more violet colors. Come on, are you changing? They're very subtle when you get into the purples. Let's try that backwards. And all of the lights are from 3 light colors, red, green, blue. So there are combinations of things. So depending on whether the tape is coming at you or going away from you, which side it's on, you can have a color, but this side has the green light facing me and this side has the blue light facing me. So there's little nuances. And of course the top shelf, they're pointing up instead of down, and that makes a little bit of a difference. I'm going to put them on cycling again because that's just too much fun. So fun, fun, fun. Very exciting times. And, just push through the frustration. I mean, I was at the point of giving up. What really pushed me through was the fact that my altar was dark. Because on Saturday, it's like, I'm doing this. And I started in Saturday or Sunday, I can't remember now. And the first thing I did was take the old lights off, which were taped all to hell and gone, because I'd have to tape them and then tape the tape and all this shit. And you should see under the shelves, because that was a white bookshelf that was painted black, not well painted. And I was looking at it because now that there's beautiful lighting there, you can really see. And I'm going to paint them. I will repaint those shelves at some point. But up under the shelves is not painted, so it's just this white, laminate. And the top shelf, this one right here, where my smudge pot sits, my incenser usually sits there, and my smudge pot sits there. And so when I'm burning, and I lay down a fog. When I'm burning stuff, those are sitting there, and it's just dark brown under there. So I had to take alcohol and clean it off so the tape would really stick. But if you're keen for frustration, and the thing that was so frustrating is I couldn't find any instructions or anything addressing this problem whatsoever. And my husband, who studied to be an electrician, looked at it and said, yeah, you're right, it makes no sense, and I can't believe nobody has addressed this. So when we finally get kitchen lights, I'm going to pay more money for them. Anyhow, bang for buck, I'm happy. So tonight, how is everybody doing tonight? Leo New Moon, Mustafa, yes, you can ask a question. Absolutely. We're all about engagement. But since it's new moon, last night when I did my ritual, I pulled out Daughters of the Moon, and I pulled out the Gospel of Aradia. And it's like, let's just, do 3 from each. And when I did Queen of the Moon, Daughters of the Moon, I got this one, which is called Reversal, and then this one, which is called Ecstasy, Inanna's House of Heaven, and this is the 10 of Cups, this is the 1 of Cups, which is Happiness. And it's like, look at that. Look at that, would you please? Yesterday we launched a couple of things that needed to be launched and needed to be underway, and a huge weight is lifted off my shoulders because those things are underway. And it just happened to fall on the new moon, which was also the first anniversary of my mother's passing. So and one of these things is in her behalf that's being launched. So it's like everything was kind of came together perfectly. And reversal talks about surrendering to a process. And I want you to look at this card. And what's really cool here, this is a version of the Hanged Man, but look down in the water. Look at her reflection, which is upright and just has light glowing around it. So it talks about the wonderful things that happen when you surrender your misconceptions and you surrender the things that aren't serving you right now. When you surrender your control, when you surrender your need to control a situation. So it's talking about reversal and reversal of fortunes. You surrender and things reverse into, a good, peaceful, wonderful thing. And then we have ecstasy and happiness. So it's like, I think some things are kind of turning around for us. And then with the Gospel of Aradia, I took 3 cards, and the middle one was the Queen. And I want to say a little bit about croning as a rite of passage and queening, because I, several years ago, and a couple of times at least, tried to have a queening ceremony because I didn't feel, I hadn't reached my cronehood yet. I didn't feel crone-like yet. And it's like time to claim my life, time to do these things. And it just wasn't happening. I mean, my health got in the way big time. I would come up to it and it's like, I just can't do it. My adrenals were crashing so hard. And so my queening just went by. And then all of a sudden it's like, you know what? My croning is here. So we'll just bypass the queening and go for the croning. And I had this idea, I realized, that queening kind of necessarily has to come before croning. I found out otherwise. When I took these cards from the Gospel of Aradia, the first one was called The Vow, and it was about promises I've made. And I've made promises to you guys, I've made promises to me, but most of all, I have made promises to the goddess as her priestess. That is who my life is devoted to. Yeah? And some of these things I haven't done for a while. My active ritual work I haven't been doing for a while. Obviously, recently, you know why. But suddenly, so it's calling me to those promises. It's my promise to serve women, to serve the goddess and serve her women. Go between, the bridge. And then came up the Queen. And then came up one called Taboo, and it was talking about speaking the unspeakable, about going where people won't go, about calling into the light the things that are kept in darkness. So I'm realizing that I think my queening is happening right now, and we'll see. But it's like, queening is not a phase of life, it's an achievement kind of thing to me. And my croning, croning is more of a biological thing. I mean, not completely. There's energy, it's all this stuff too. But I am finding out that your queening can happen after a croning. And I'm sure it can happen well before a croning too. And it's kind of like, queening, so many women don't become biological mothers. So their life would have a queening in it. You don't get that particular rite of passage in through childbirth and all that, but you can certainly have a queening of your life when you are birthing a creative project, when you are coming into your full creative expression. So that's one of the things I wanted to tell you. And then I wanted to talk just a little bit about connections, because there's I want to say hi to Anne Haug. I think she pronounces her name, maybe. She's in Norway. She's not watching this now, but she watches tomorrow when the video comes out. And she reached out to me when I had that video bounced because of the Sheila Chandra music, and said, I went to look at the video today and it wasn't there. And the idea that somebody's in Guyana, South America, and somebody's in Norway, and we're all doing the same thing and I'm connected to you, gives me like this special thrill. When I was a kid, I had a thing about tying things together. I remember, and this is when we had a little black and white TV and you had to trot across the room and get one of the 3 channels, unless you went UHF with the circular antenna, not the rabbit ears. UHF had a circle antenna. And you had to do a dial. You turned to UHF and then you did this clicky clicky dial instead of the click 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 dial. Anyway, I would sit across the room. We had this big long jump rope, and I would tie one end of it to the TV dial and sit on the other side of the room on the couch holding that the other end of it and going, I'm connected to that all the way over there. And it just gave me a thrill. My mom wasn't too thrilled about it because when I was like 4 or 5, she had one of those vases. It was orange. It looked like a flame. It came up and like one side went up higher than the other. And, you know, very mid-century modern 50s vase. Everybody had one. And I took my baton and I tied a jump rope to one end and I tied the other end of the jump rope around the base of this vase. Don't ask me why I was 4. Maybe 5. Maybe 5. I think I was 5. And she came into the room and she saw what I had done and she said, "What are you doing? Put those things away." And I thought, okay. And I mounted my baton like a pony and said, "Giddy up." And I took off and the vase went crash and shattered in a million pieces. And that's not the only thing of my mother's that I broke because I was her nemesis. So, sorry, Mom. Anyway, I get this special thrill about being connected, and thinking about being connected across vast expanses and vast, distances is pretty thrilling to me. So anyway, that's why I do it. And that's also Pisces moon. If you're a Neptunian, if you're a Pisces sun, moon, or rising, you have Neptune ruling one of those planets or positions. And that's what Pisces is all about, is connecting. Neptune is the dissolver, and Pisces wants to connect and dissolve the barriers, dissolve the boundaries so we can connect. And that's why they're spiritual, because they're still connected to the other side. They do have permeable boundaries and are connected very easily to spirit. So anyhow, Mustafa, what's your question, darling? And I'm going to get Dex out and start doing some things while I'm waiting for the question to come over with our buffer time. I decided to clear my thing a little bit here because it was getting a little crowded last week. I'm really good at, stacking things up so it's terribly unworkable. All right. I got cards, I got books, it doesn't look so great already. All right, let me get out the... So I'm going with the same method as last week, which is houses. We're going to go with the houses, and then I will read for the sign that corresponds to that house. And it makes it nice and neat, and we get lots of territory covered. Do you agree? I want to say it's an absolutely gorgeous evening. I've got the window open, but only that much because it's getting really cool. I hope that I can keep the window open because it's also becoming ragweed season around here, and I get all itchy and stuffy. Plus, when the humidity starts coming down. I mean, I have the luxury right now of no air conditioner running in the background. So here, I'm going to offer this to you. This is Fire of Azrael. If you have your own cards and you want to play along, go grab them. Or break out your sage pot. This is blowing directly into my face. You try to be smooth. I'm going to switch this with this so I don't get choked out in the first 5 minutes here. And there's the water. Right. Okay. The other thing I'm going to do, I've already washed my hands. So I am sort of revising some of my reading rituals. And before reading now, I go in and wash my hands. And it really calls me into the energy of my hands and their sensitivity and what I'm going to be doing with them. And now I'm going to take my 3 current favorites and sort of anoint my hands a little bit. The first is patchouli. If you know patchouli, I mean, you barely need to touch it. This, folks, is a lifetime supply of patchouli. And now is a beautiful, beautiful brand. Their patchouli smells wonderful. Some of it doesn't. It's funky. Bug spray. Okay. There's the patchouli. Very grounding, very earth. And then we have sandalwood. Oh, I love my sandalwood. This is an offering to the gods. It's also a part of the fire of Azrael. Oh my, so good. Very difficult to find pure sandalwood oil. This is sandalwood in jojoba oil, so it's cut because sandalwood has become endangered. It's coming back, but... And then, yes, the third is lotus. And these three together, heavenly. My husband really likes them. Okay. Mustafa, ask your question. All right. Let's take a moment. Open the water. I'm going to unbox these cards. And then let's get focused, okay? I should just decide where I'm putting things early on so I don't have to keep rearranging stuff. You know, that's the way it is. Okay. So just sinking down into your body, bring your attention down out of your head. Notice your shoulders, your torso, your hips, your knees, your feet. Bring your attention down in through your arms and into your hands. And I'm letting go of all of my agendas and all the thoughts of the day. And inviting my guides and guardians and my ancestors to come in and assist me and bring clarity and inspiration, intuition, psychic information. Let me be your vessel. Let me be your conduit. Speak through my voice. And I welcome in all of the porters, the air, fire, water, and earth, to stand guard as well. Be a filter for me. And give me something positive and wonderful to say to my viewers. Let my viewers leave with something constructive and practical. So mote it be. We'll put a little bit more on. Just little bits. I'm learning. Not very quick, but I'm learning. Okay. Let's find out who or what area of life we're going to talk about tonight. And I'm planning to take 3 from Daughters of the Moon and 2 from Queen of the Moon. All right. Done shuffling. Everybody gets a ride. Okay. This is the 5th house. So 5th house is Leo's house. Sun is in Leo until Saturday the 22nd. I think that's Saturday. Yes, Saturday the 22nd. So 5th house. And I want to show you something. A lot of you watched my review of the Good Tarot yesterday. And just how hard that deck was to shuffle. Okay, look at these. This is a big deck. And it's round. And, oops, that was a chunk. You know, it's not the easiest thing to shuffle, but it's easier than the Good Tarot. Actually, that was kind of chunky. That was kind of a lie. I was shuffling earlier, and they were shuffling just fine, thank you. That one stayed down. Let's take a look at that one. And then we will just cut shuffle, and there's another one. One more, please. Tell us about our 5th house. Tell us about children, our relationships with our children, matters pertaining to children, pertaining to romance, pertaining to speculation. And I think I got 4. All right. So the one that stayed down is one of Blades, the Sibyl. The Sibyl is the oracle. So this is the one that sees clearly. I think we're going to let her be our totem for tonight. We're going to prop her right there and let the Sibyl work through us. And then that gives us 3. And the first one that flipped out was Mot. Mot is the weigher of hearts. She is the one that when you die, she weighs your heart against a feather. And if the weight of your life and its deeds is heavier, leaves heaviness on your heart, then it will be heavier than the feather and you don't gain entry into paradise. Um, and I do want to say that I'm not going to read reverses. I don't read reverses in my regular tarot, so I'm not going to do it with this deck. Although somebody asked me about reverses with this deck, and if you want to do them, of course, that's reverse. But if you're doing it and maybe it's this way, that might be the energy is slightly held back. If it's this way, it's almost completely stopped. If it's this way, it's moving forward more quickly. If it's this way, maybe you're just coming out of things being blocked. So, okay. So Mott, the Weigher of Hearts. So we're talking about fifth house things, and this is talking about being lighthearted. So I think, finding a way to be lighthearted and giving yourself permission to do it. Just because there's a tremendous amount of stress, just because things are sucking on so many fronts right now, doesn't mean you are not allowed to have joy and ecstasy and freedom and enjoy the liberties that you have and love your life and enjoy your life. So, lightheartedness. What makes you feel lighthearted? Is it playing a game? Is it, running around a field? Is it picking flowers? What makes you feel lighthearted? That's what Mott is saying. That life is getting heavy and it's time to play for the fifth house. Nine of Flames is the Wanderer. Taking a drive. My husband and I, when my mother was living with us, her very, very favorite thing to do was go riding. And I'd take her in the car, or my husband would take her in the car. This is how everybody else in the house got a break. He'd take her out for a drive, and we'd go for 2 hours. Cliff would go sometimes 2.5, 3 hours. But I'd usually go at least 2 hours with her. And yeah, I mean, if we could only cram in an hour, we crammed in an hour. But we live in a place where we're very close to being way out in the country and very close to not as well. So just not too long, and we're out driving country roads. And, bless her with her dementia, you could drive the same route every time, and it was brand new to her each time. And she would just, and we had an imaginary drinking game in the car, where anytime she said particular things, you did an imaginary shot. And then you'd get home and say, I am smashed, and one of them was the wonder of it all. She'd look around and just go, oh, the wonder of it all, knock one back mentally. So this might be talking about, that wanderlust that we're getting. And I know some people are actually going on vacations. My God, would I not trust that right now? But that's me. You do you. But still, just taking a drive where you haven't been before. GPSs are wonderful things. You can go out and literally just lose yourself and find your way back. So do that. That would be a great pastime, something to make you feel more lighthearted. Six of Pentacles is success. So I think, it can just talk about being successful in being more lighthearted, being successful in playing. I think what we're saying here maybe is it will help you feel like you're moving ahead, because it's really hard. I mean, that the altar became a bigger issue because I needed to accomplish it after a while. And being a Leo and being Plutonian and having lots of fixed signs in my chart, I'm mostly fixed. Just throw a roadblock in something I'm trying to do, and I will exhaust myself before I give up, and I didn't give up on the lights. I gave up on me solving the light problem, but I went back at it with my husband the next day, and it's solved. So I think having some playtime, having some downtime, feeling more lighthearted about things can help you feel like things aren't an utter failure right now. And that is fifth house. You're talking about play, talking about children. If you're talking about children, then it's time to weigh and balance things and maybe have some fun with them too, or let them have fun some way. Okay. Now, this is going to be for Leos, Leo, Sun, Moon, Rising. And because Leo is associated with the fifth house. All right, I'm not going to shuffle them. We have discernment, waxing gibbous. So discernment is about critical thinking and really looking at something in detail. And this is a good thing to be talking about on Virgo moon, because it's not just, it's not going after something on feel. It's about just being discriminating and trying to see more deeply into things. So, Leo, whatever creative projects you're working on right now, because we're still talking fifth house as well, um, just be discerning and pick and choose. And I'm a Leo, so I'm hearing all this go through. I am structuring some things, and I'm having to drill down and get really detailed on those right now. We still have those heavy planets. I mean, all the heavies are retrograde right now. Uranus just went in the last couple weeks, I think, and it will be retro for 5 months. But the other heavies, I don't know when Neptune goes, but Jupiter, Saturn, Pluto all go direct between September 13th and October 4th. So very soon, energies are going to start moving forward. Now is the time to stop thinking about projects in broad brushstrokes and wide things and start thinking about the details. How am I going to make that happen? What's that exactly going to look like? Okay? So being discerning. And also, you're allowed to look a gift horse in the mouth, right? Fifth house is also speculation. Discernment would say maybe don't go wildly gambling on something that's not a sure thing, and not a sure good use of your resources. Something felt weird there. Okay, who's up next? Mustafa must have bailed. Mustafa, I want to know your question. Okay. Next up is the 12th house. So this is dealing with our mental health. Not state of mind, state of psyche, deeper than mind. Okay? Are you feeling connected? This is Pisces house, remember? So I was talking about Pisces and connection. Are you feeling connected to spirit right now? What is the nature of your connection with spirit right now? That's 12th house. That's how I'm going to narrow down the question for 12th house. What is the nature of connection with spirit? What do we need to know about that? Whoops. Okay, I'm going to pull from that wad. We'll shuffle them a couple more times. All right. Okay. So, we have Mother of Flames, Aries, Calafia. We have Pan. And we have the Crone of Cups, Hecate. And I'm going to look up Calafia. Because guess what? She's a court card. And you know how much I hate court cards. Blades, Cups, Flames. Right. She says, Maiden. Oh, Maiden of Flames. Wait. Oh. Okay, these suits start with their court cards. So the Maiden of Flames corresponds to the Knight of Wands. So we're talking about moving creative energy. In myth and legend, Calafia was a black Amazon queen who lived in California with her Amazon tribe 665 years ago, before Europeans appeared in this country. Calafia was a fierce, impeccable warrior and a passionate leader of women. She comes to teach us new ways and directions to expand by actively using our will. So she talks about actively using will, and she's also talking about being a role model for active feminists today. Strong spirit, and it was saying if it's reversed or tilted that it's kind of unbridled spirit. So as far as spirit goes here, it's time to get really active about your connections. It's time to maybe do some shamanic ritual. I feel like I say this every week now, but drumming, dancing, moving, but doing something that really does generate energy. Also, just putting out the energy of healing, of enlightenment, of lifting things up, doing prayer work, doing devotion work to help lift these energies up. This is saying you got to get fucking active about it. You can't just think about it or do a quiet little meditation. You've got to get active and assertive about it. Time to ramp up your practice. Pan, of course, is the wild god of nature, and he's wild sexual energy as well. I'm just trying to put him in the 12th house here. A positive male image in the tarot. Characterized by his sensuousness, creativity, and love for the goddess. His names are many: Gwydion, Tammuz, Angus-Og, Dion, the Green Man, and the Horned God. In my research, I found it was this carefree, poetic, and sensual figure that was transformed by the patriarchal myth makers into the devil. Absolutely. He was the horned god. You know, he was a faun. So the half man, half goat with the little ears, or a satyr actually, you know, which was one was goat and one was sheep. I don't know. I didn't know. Okay, anyway. Maybe fawn's an antelope. I don't know. Anyway, talking about dancing, it says the presence of a good-hearted man. Look for a Pan-type man in your life. Or maybe, since we're talking in the spiritual realm here, maybe it's time to invoke Pan. Ah, that's it. It's time to start invoking Pan and bringing him onto our planet. We've been, you know, I invoke Goddess all the time. I don't usually work with the God form, truthfully, except through my guides. But to start visualizing Pan, this balanced male, male in balance with the goddess. And I mean absolutely masculine, but not asshole masculine, not toxic masculine, not traumatized masculine, not abusive, violent masculine, natural man, natural man. And truth be told, a lot of natural men need to duke it out with each other. They need to scrap around and fight. That's what the males of species do. They compete with each other. That's why we have sports. So there's nothing wrong with that, but doing it with a high ethical standard, doing it with honor. You know, Letterkenny. I love the way they fight in Letterkenny, because nobody fights dirty. They fight, they shake, they're done, but they square things away. Okay, so invoking him as a spirit form so that he can come to life on this planet more. Hecate, and I would say in relationship with Calafia, with this Amazon, oh my God, look at this, an Amazon and Pan. So I'm thinking that this fiery feminine here, this reclaimed feminine empowerment is what keeps Pan in check. And then we have Hecate standing there at the crossroads showing us the way. So dark goddess time as well. We're rolling into her time of the year. I can't wait till next month. I can't wait till next month, but next month we kick off my favorite season. We kick off the fall, the witchy time of year. I love it, love it, love it. I'm already feeling it. Feeling the creativity. So she is there to enter, you know, to usher us into the next phase and is waiting there, but also to spiritually connect with the crone so that you can stay in touch with what's going on internally with the dark stuff. All right, Pisces. Okay, I've heard from 3 people. I see 5 watching. Check in and tell me. Just say hi, that's all. I don't have any expectations of you. Say hi, tell me where you're from. Okay. Pisces. Hunger. Wolf moon. Pisces, this can be a difficult one for you. Pisces tends to go with the flow. Pisces can certainly be inspired. They live for inspiration. The problem is, if there isn't inspiration incoming, it's hard to find it internally. You know, they've got to tap into something. So Pisces, this might be talking about nurturing and tapping into sort of your creative hunger, your need to bring your gifts into the world. You know, here's what I really want to do with my life. This is what you know, my ultimate vision for myself, the thing that if you could drop my perfect life in my lap, this is what it would be. And allow yourself to develop a little hunger after that to sort of move you forward rather than just waiting for inspiration to hit. So Pisces is mutable. You go with the flow, and that can look like, I don't feel like it. I don't feel like it right now. nah, I'll wait till inspiration hits. Unfortunately, sometimes it doesn't. So it's saying those times it doesn't, you need to ground yourself in your hunger to accomplish what you're after. Okay, Pisces, you have gifts to bring the world, Pisces. You have art and beauty and connection to bring the world. So start getting hungry for it. All right. Who's next? I don't know why I'm shuffling those every time, really. What's next is 8th house. So we're in Scorpio's territory now. 8th house talks about your understanding of life and the world and how it works, really. I'm going to put the Sybil over here so we can see her. It's about magic. It's about how you get what you need and how you kind of attract to you what you need. So it can be kind of manipulation, like Scorpio, how you manipulate for what you need, how you negotiate for what you need, how other people are there for you. So let's look at how we're getting our needs met here. Whoa. One off the top. Thank you very much. I'm doing this way. Except they see they're harder to it's harder for them to jump. Whoop, there goes another one. Harder for them to jump when you shuffle that way. One more. Ooh, okay. We'll take those. First jumper is the Strength card. Second jumper is the Five of Flames, Pele. And then the last ones are the Crone of Flames, Sagittarius, Caradwen, and Yemaya, the Moon. All right. So 8th house, the house of magic, the house of other people's support. The Strength card says hang in there. If you're not feeling the support right now from other people, are they really able to support you? We're all kind of in our little cocoons in survival mode in a lot of ways, or in fear mode. If we're taking risks and going out of our cocoons, then we can be inviting a lot of fear and worry. So Strength says hang in there and see about adding love to the situation. How can I love the situation into giving me what I need? Okay. And also saying just hang in there and wait for the support. It will come, and don't be too demanding on people right now. Pele, the Five of Flames. I mean, look at her. She's talking, if that isn't a scorpionic card. Look at that. Or Plutonian, I should say. Volcanic energy is Pluto. So it's saying that 8th house matters. There's a lot of big energy flowing through. And you know what? I'm just going to add Scorpio to this as well while I'm reading, because it's certainly talking to Scorpio. Okay, Pele. So it's talking about a time filled of struggle, but a time of positive change. All right, you look at the volcano, the lava comes up and it causes crisis and it burns things and it changes things forever, but it creates new land. So it's talking about taking this time where there's maybe some big, intense things flowing through your life and letting that create new territory, letting it expand you emotionally, expand you creatively. Let your problems take you to learning new skills and expand those skills. And then Caradwen is Sagittarius, and Caradwen has the cauldron of death and rebirth. And I mean, that's so scorpionic too. I mean, look at this array here. So let's take a look at her. Crone of Flames. Also known as the White Sow. She's the shapeshifter. We portray her with her favorite creatures, the hawk, greyhound, otter, and hen. All the crones in Tarot know the secret. They are the authorities, the prophetic ones. So the crone talks about old wisdom and tapping into old wisdom. And tapping into your own internal power, too. I mean, these are the crone lessons that I've been through. It's the cauldron of transformation. So next to Pele here, this is kind of a forceful change happening. This is a loving into change. This is an actively stirring into change and making things what you want them to be. Then we have Yamaya, the moonlight, coming in. So bringing in intuition, bringing in your psychic ability. This is like a path of magic right here. And the eighth house deals with the occult and magic. So again, you know, what I'm hearing from the goddess tonight is just a pathway to transformation. Looking at what you can love into being, getting forceful where you need to, brewing up what you need, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, pull it all together, make it what you need it to be, and then Yamaya, the moon, shines her blessings on it and gives you insight. With her, you can infuse it with your emotional energy and make it so. Okay, for Scorpios, they're telling me quit. Discernment, again, wow. Okay, so you too, Scorpio, need to be very specific about what you're after, what you're working for, the kind of things that that you're working on. Okay, Baby Joe, let's see. Oh, Crooked Spoon, hi from Appalachia. Good to see you here. I didn't see your name before. Baby Joe, my husband, can I? Okay. Okay, Pisces listening. Yep, okay. Baby Joe, go take care of your busy house. But Crooked Spoon, thanks for checking in. So again, there's that path to magic, and discernment says make sure you know exactly what you're working for. Don't just like throw it out to spirit. It's great on the solar festivals to go out and dance up all kinds of energy and just fling it around, because the energy that you're working in is the seasonal natural energy anyway. When we're working moon magic, I mean, I just heard from the last unicorn, what was his name? Schmendrick. Magic do as you will. Have at it if you want to. That's a very dangerous way to live magically. And but if you've got great trust in the goddess, have at it. Just, you know, hold on to your ass. So discernment here is just saying, I just heard really loud, be careful what you wish for. So Scorpio, and in your magical workings, eighth house things, think very carefully about what you're working for. Think about the consequences of what you're asking for. This is why we work with the outcome and not in abstracts. So when you're doing spell work, this is why you concentrate on the outcome in detail, because those are the consequences you want. If you say, I want to be rich and I want this and that, and you don't know maybe what the consequences, or I want power, you don't know what other consequences there may be. But if you look at a detailed outcome, then it can help you dial in. All right. Who's up next? 10th house. This is Saturn, Capricorn, career matters. Oh, our karmic, moving forward karmically for us. Are we fulfilling our karmic purpose? Are we fulfilling our career? What state is our career in? What's our relationship to it? There they go. All right. We have. Oh, and looky there. We have Capricorn. We have the Crone of Pentacles, Buffalo woman, white Buffalo woman, pass away. So, yeah. We do Capricorn's house. Bang, here comes Capricorn. Yep, you know how things work here. Then we've got 4. All right. We have oppression. Then we have Mami Watu, and we have Aruru. Okay, I'm going to take these as 2. Because Pass Away White Buffalo woman, she's the one that came and gave the gift of the pipe. So talking about letting her come and sort of show you the way. So letting spirit, letting goddess show you the way as far as career goes, bringing spiritual help in on that as well. She's showing here how to construct a teepee. And that's what Capricorn is all about, the method and the structure, not just the method, but the structure. Here's what's underneath. Here's what goes over top. So 10th house stuff, we've got to get structured about career stuff. Dates. Dates are really important with structure, and I'm listening to this even though I don't have any prominent Capricorn stuff or Saturn in my chart. But it's kind of where I'm at in looking at structuring things. Time to pull out the calendar and say, here are things I need to accomplish, and here are the dates I'm going to accomplish them on. Oppression coming next to it here says that you don't want to get so structured that you can't uphold it. So the structure needs to be something flexible and fluid. as well, and it needs to be something that you can carry off. If you're putting a big structure up because you feel like you're worthless because you're depressed and can't get things done right now, putting a big schedule and a lot of structure on yourself isn't going to help, is it? So I would say, try not to be hard on yourself, but see what kind of structure you can bring to your day, to your week, to make things a little easier for you. Mami Watu, the Maiden of Cups, and then the Three of Pentacles. So we've got Clay Woman, Aruru, and she's taking earth and she's shaping it into a vessel. So using your resources and shaping them into what you need them to be. Kind of like taking those lights and wrangling them around corners. Mami Watu is the Maiden of Cups, and she's Pisces. And she says, she holds a mirror that is the symbol of the powers of women, mirroring the wondrous powers of the goddess. She promises the discovery and exploration of our dreams, visions, and emotions. So she is in the spiritual realm as well, and she is also calling us to bring the spiritual awareness to the structuring and practical things we're doing with career things in 10th house, to make sure that there's breathing space and you're bringing a meditative awareness, a meditative mindset in while you're working. That's a good thing. And that it's just time to really start gently shaping things into the structure that you need them to be in. Then, Capricorn, this is weird because it's, what kind of throws me off is thinking about how many people are watching this and will this pertain to all of them? And, even if it's not particularly 10th house, whatever. Something rings your bell, it rings your bell, and I hope it rings your bell. We have protection for Capricorn. So you want to nurture the ideas that you're bringing into being, and you want to protect them as well. So as you're structuring things, think about who you share things with, who you call in to collaborate. Make sure that you're very clear with your ideas when you're talking to somebody about them, about having ownership of those ideas and what's okay and what's not okay. That's what I'm getting from this. God, I feel like my shoulders are off level. So, and also just protecting yourself, Capricorn. These are heavy times, and it's easy to get depressed. It's easy to get down. It's easy when you can't be barreling ahead for a Capricorn. It's hard, and you can feel stuck and like you're moving backwards, and your ruling planet is moving backwards right now. So try to be a little bit more protective of your own feelings and do some nice things for yourself, but most especially just make sure you're protecting your ideas from people getting a little too free with them before you're ready for them to launch. Okay, up next is first house, and that is Aries. First house talks about our physical bodies, what condition they're in, just our basic vitality. It also talks about our outward personalities and our filters, the filter and the shield we use to get through life. I think that might be an interesting way to look at it. So you can see maybe, how you can morph readings according to the categories that you choose. I'm going to take one more. Okay, first house in Aries. Oops, there's Aruru again. And there is Kuan Yin. And there is the Strength card. Okay. Let's go to Kuan Yin here. She is Nine of Cups, and talk about compassion and talk about pouring out the waters of compassion. Speaking of pouring water. So just that general softening and seeing the world instead of, I know people's fuses are getting incredibly short right now. So rather than the filter being, everybody out there is an asshole and nobody's wearing a mask and they don't care about me and my family, and taking on that idea, maybe looking with compassion and looking at every single person out there and going, they are confused. They are scared, and they're confused. You know, if people are refusing to wear a mask in the face of what's going on, they're just plain confused. So maybe having a little bit of compassion, and I've said before, if the best you can do in compassion is think, man, it must suck to be you, it's a start. Clay Woman talks about, again, shaping things into the shape you need it to be in, polishing your skills, mastering something. So, polishing that sense of compassion, working at how I view the world, viewing it in more kind, understanding eyes, filtering things through that. And then the Strength card talks about gentleness and loving it. And you look at the relationship between the woman and the lion isn't one of master and tamed, it's a relationship. It's one of connection, it's one of trust. Strength here is trust. So, again, trust yourself. Do what you have to do if you can't trust other people, but try to adjust your filter so that you can see maybe with a little bit more compassionate eyes with some of the people that have truly gone crazy. They are crazy people, I'm not joking. And you can feel compassion for people that are that disconnected from themselves, that are that angry and mean-spirited. I mean, I feel sorry for them. I truly do. Okay, for Aries, fruition. So something is going to come to fruition here. If we take things with the eyes of compassion, if we soften ourselves, if we let ourselves go into a sense of trust that the majority of human beings are going to take us to a good place where we need to go, then maybe we can start bringing some things to fruition rather than just sort of grinding away. Let me take a look at that. I haven't looked up any of the Queen cards yet. Look at, they have numbers. See, isn't it wonderful when cards have numbers? All right. I welcome the joyous fruition of all the intentions I set. All the intentions I set. So, this is talking about, again, it's the connection between the intention and the outcome. The intention is the outcome, or I should say the outcome is the intention. When you're setting an intention, what do I want at the end of this? Ultimately. And that will help you too if it's really an intention, if the intention is really about the journey and my day-to-day way of going about life. That's a little different than like an end result. I want to achieve this, and this specific kind of static things. So look to the outcome before you set your intention, and then things can come to fruition, because they can't come to fruition if you don't know what you're after. If you make a wish and just go, bring me something great, how do you know? How are you going to know when it arrives? Unless you have an idea of what it looks like. Okay. Who's next? Seventh house. This is Libra. So we're talking about committed relationships here, whether it's romantic partners, husbands, wives, committed partnerships that way, collaborations, business deals, anything that's contracted, negotiated, and agreed upon, committed to. And the people that you have bonds with, intimate bonds with. Oops, okay, whoop, okay, this one, whoop, that, whoop, hey. Hey. Oppression. Aruru again. Okay, oh my God, look at this. Holy mackerel, you guys. All right, I'm not going to go back over those. I'm going to go with these. Every single one of these cards has come out before. So, in relationships, I'm shuffling again. I don't want to say the same things over. I'm going to leave those out. Yes, I'm manipulating the reading. Aight. All right, let's flip them around. Look at these two side by side. Wow. Okay. Happiness and jealousy. Now, this is pertaining to relationships. That other chunk that I took out, I took it out, and that's not what needed to come out. So, here's the balance, Libra, and everyone with seventh house relationship issues. It's the balance, happiness and jealousy. You can love your partner and be so attracted to what they bring, and then that can bring in jealousy. What if somebody else is attracted to this too? And jealousy really is about relationships. Envy is about things and status. So jealous is I'm jealous of another person's attention to someone. So I think this is where we need to look at relationships and look at that balance point. And let's take one more for seventh house Libra. This can work in non-romantic relationships too, as far as and there's the strength card again. Look at this. And Pele again. So again, loving things into the shape that you want them to be in. And in a working partnership, in a committed collaboration partnership, we have to freely accept all of our partners' gifts and let them have full reign in doing what they do best without getting jealous. Like if you're collaborating with someone on a particular thing and you both have that same skill set and the other person is like really good at this part, instead of getting jealous about that, learn from them, maybe up your own skill set or look at what am I way better at than they are. So it alleviates the jealousy. And in Tara practice, the thing that we do to purify jealousy is rejoice. So when you're jealous or envious of someone else's achievement, when you rejoice, then you have their joy of their achievement as well. You enjoy their achievement too, and the joy is doubled. So the antidote to envy and jealousy is to rejoice for someone else's success. And that attracts like things to you. Yeah, the Libra one is, yeah, that kind of blew me away too. Okay, now let's look at a refinement more for the Libras. All right, they're telling me stop. We have power. All right, she's something, isn't she? Full moon. She represents the full moon. I have power. It is real. So Libra, this is a tough one for Libras. Libras don't do well at expressing personal power. Of course, depending on the rest of the chart, if you have, your sun focalized in some way or a lot of things that are really drawing you out creatively, Libra's first consideration is, what about you? What about you? Are you happy? Okay, but is this okay with you? And they really invest in the relationship to the point that they can't say, here's what I want for myself. Try to pin a Libra down sometime and say, what do you really want? When it's, well, let's go someplace. Oh, I want to take you out. Okay, where do you want to go? Where do you want to go? No, this is for your birthday. Yeah, but I don't really care as long as you're happy is the Libra motto. Hi, Unica, and hi, Sheila. Sheila, I take it you're a Libra. And Unica, yes, you can ask a question. We're going along with the signs. I want to make sure I get through them all. I think we're, how far through are we? How many more do I have? I've got half of them, so we're going to jam now, folks. Hope you don't mind. All right. Up next is, and go ahead, Unica, put your question out there. 11th house. So this is kind of hopes and dreams for humanity. There's one coming out. Okay. 11th house is your groups of friends, the groups of people you associate with, who you identify with as far as a group, a tribe. Okay, I'm just going to take the one off the top here. Oh, there are 3 there. Never mind. All right, Whirlpool. And then this one came out next. And then we have Coyote Woman. Okay. 11th house, Whirlpool. I know it feels like our groups that we identify with are kind of falling apart right now. If you, like me, I'm a member of the Unitarian Universalist Church, but if you have a spiritual group that you belong to that you haven't been able to meet with, it can be really difficult. If you have a group of friends that, went out and hit the bars every weekend, that's got to be really difficult. If, just anything, any of those social groups, places where we go to meet up in groups, going to the library, going out to the movies or something, mixing with people, that's been kind of swirling down the drain. And Whirlpool says don't let yourself get flushed. Don't let yourself go all the way down the toilet there. And here, look at the harvest, 10 of Pentacles here. And here is a group of people gathering around a table. So here is where you find ways to do things that are safe and distanced. And I've been doing this at my house where I'll have no more than two friends, and usually it's a couple. So two friends that are already in their own bubble, and then we have our bubble. They're on one side, we're on the other side. There are protocols if you're going to go into the house with the hand sanitizer, the masks, the wiping things. There's protocols to keep things safe and germ-free. Masks in the house always. Once we're outside and 10 feet apart, no more masks. So, and we don't sing. So there are ways to gather. And Zoom, folks, Zoom is the most elegant and wonderful thing. I mean, to be able to, you can use it with like hardly any knowledge right from the rip. It is a goddess send. It's an amazing thing. So gathering in places like that, finding groups maybe on Facebook or groups. What I'm getting here too is groups where it's kind of a support group for what you're going through, for whatever trauma you have. That's it. That's a support group right there. Looking for groups to join, looking for something that can support you and not feel so alone. And then we've got Coyote, which is the trickster, and all bets are fucking off there. I don't even know where Coyote falls in this deck. Let's find out. Okay. It's an archetype that embraces the Joker and the Fool card in the Tarot. She has a special magic and wisdom all her own. Trust, play, and having fun are her most magnificent qualities. So, Coyote's medicine works in hidden ways. This card renews our childlike innocence and reminds us to play and keep our precious sense of humor. That's why it said that all true teachers have great senses of humor. I think I'm funny. Anyway, getting together with groups of people to rescue yourself so you're not swirling down the drain, using the groups of people to generate, again, that fun and play and the stuff that we were talking about in the beginning. Sybil, darling, I'm sorry. You're getting a little too bright over there. Now you can't see her. Okay, everything. Okay. This is Aquarius's house. Aquarius. So Aquarius, the 11th house too, using technology to gather with people. And we have protection here too. So Aquarius, protection for your ideas, protection of your psyche. Let's see what other insights they can give. Your higher power, however you describe this, is a loving and protective energy. You're loved and protected. Identify your fears. You can protect yourself better. Trust in yourself. I am loved and protected. Identify your fears. That's a big one. So Aquarius is the queen of ideas. And they can get very locked into their ideas. Fixed air. Air is the intellect. Fixed is not moving. So Aquarius, you need to be protective of yourself in that you're not getting locked into your ideas to the point where they're becoming oppressive and taking you down the drain. Okay? Check your thought processes. Make sure you're not going into disaster head. You know, if it pops up, that's one thing. Don't stay there. All right. This is 9th house Sagittarius. I'm still kind of dialing this process in with, how I'm reading and what I'm using. And I don't know if the 3 cards are getting a little too long. I might go to take, one tarot card and one oracle card so we have more time to chat about things and I'm not racing through. Okay. All right. Unica, I am going to call on Socrates for your question. All right. Socrates, I need a straight answer, please. This is about Unica Hunter, my viewer. She has a job interview on the 26th. Will they get the job? I'm assuming she, but I shouldn't assume. Will they get the job?
Things look fucking good.
Could you understand that? He said things look fucking good. It might have been too loud because I had it right next to the microphone and it was loud in my ears. But anyway, things look fucking good, Unica. Cool. All right. So here we go. Ninth house. All right. We'll take two more. First one, we've got Pasui again. Second one, we have Lada, who is the spring maiden. She is ruled by Virgo. And then we have Burnout. Okay, Sagittarius. Time to get a little structured about the things that you're doing. Sagittarius, look at this go, go, go spring energy. This is, or actually fall energy. This is Virgo. That's the maiden of the harvest. Bouncing around in the fields. But then we're talking about burnout. So Sagittarius, maybe how you cope with things is go, go, go. But there can be some burnout happening. This also pertains to higher education, to long distance travel, to legal matters, to things dealing with philosophy, spirituality, religion, all that kind of stuff. But anything dealing with justice, mass media, higher education, philosophy, I said all those things. Okay, so structuring here, but it looks like we're harvesting. We certainly are seeing some ships come in this area. Okay, and this is saying though that we're on the edge of burnout. So as far as got it. Okay, thank you. Mass media. This has to do with the consumption of information. And being more structured about it and not just like la 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 taking in all the information because we're going to get burnout on it. There it is. See, when I kind of let go and go, this isn't making sense to me, somebody delivers up a message. I appreciate that. Harvesting is taking it all in, you know. But and the conventions, you know, I don't watch conventions. And the thing is, who cares what their policies are? I know how I'm voting. I know how everybody has to vote in order to stop little Hitler from having his way. Okay, Sagittarius. Attraction. Ew. Sagittarius, time to work on your glorious self. So let's stop pushing projects forward and take some time here to... It can also just say that you are in that vein right now of attraction. So think about what you are putting out. Again, that be careful what you wish. I would say be conscious about what you wish for and have intention around it. I can attract what I wish and repel what I do not. Very good. So again, specific about here's what I want to attract and here's what I do not. Most especially Sag, get your boundaries in. Pasaway is saying get some structure and some boundaries around things so you don't burn yourself out with too much information. Okay. 117, it's a lucky time. Sixth house, this is service and Virgos. Service, work. So let's look in broad swaths. I'm thinking from here on out what I might do is get some like broader categories for these houses where it's just one word instead of this whole, I don't know. Who knows? We'll see how it works. I am, as always, welcoming your input. Okay. All right, that's it. So we've got sixth house, Virgo things. Security. Can't get them right side up to save my life. All right, looky, 3 new cards. Okay, 4 of Pentacles is security. 8 of Pentacles is the learner. And 7 of Pentacles is appraisal. So 6th house, Virgo's house, gets all earth cards. Virgo's an earth sign. It's an earth house, all earth cards. So let's look at working. So definitely the focus as far as work goes is on security. I need to work to make money, to keep body and soul together, and pay my bills. So there's the issue there. The learner says it's maybe time to learn new skills, to take on some new skills and look a little bit farther afield than the jobs you've worked before. And what I'm getting is your work ethic is what really, really counts here. That I show up and do what I say I'm going to do, and regardless. And here's something that I only ever went to one job interview where I didn't get the job, ever, and it was because I was horrendously non-qualified, and the employment agency I went through sent me on this thing. Had no business sending me. They apologized to me. They're like, "We're so sorry. They should never have sent you here. You clearly don't have the skills." It was all typing, and my typing was shit. So, and as I ended up being a medical transcriptionist, I learned. So the key that would unlock these interviews for me is I would say I can do this, and I can learn anything. So add that to your job when they say, "Tell us about you, and what are your skills, and what do you think you have to bring to our company?" Say, "Well, I really like new things, and I can learn anything." There you go. And then we have appraisal. So it talks about taking stock of the skills that you have, and taking stock of the skills that you'd like to learn. And if you happen to not be employed now or be underemployed, spend that time on the YouTube. Spend that time on Business Balls. Spend that time, and that's a website, businessballs.com. I think it might be BizBalls, I'm not sure. Just Google Business Balls. Spend time looking at your skills and saying, what do I need? What do I have? What do I need? And keep that in mind. I can learn anything when you go to interview for a job. So there you go, Unica. I can learn anything. Okay. Virgos. Purity. Oh, God, is that a Virgo card? So, I just heard the phrase, make sure your heart's in the right place. When we're talking about Virgo and service, the service of the 6th house, and purity, it's about keeping your intention high, keeping your heart in the right place. Why am I doing this for you? If you do a favor for somebody, why am I doing it for you? Is it because I pity you? Is it because I look down on you? Is it because I want brownie points? Or is it because I truly just want to serve and I want to make somebody's life a little bit better? So again, purity of motive is what I'm getting here, and the motive being I need to serve. Purity also talks about health and hygiene, keeping hygiene at the forefront of everything right now. Okay, the 4th house. This is, 4th house is Cancer's house. We're talking about real estate, your physical home, your emotional underpinnings, emotional or childhood, the emotional climate of your childhood. Okay. We have, whoop. And we've got these again. Is it all 3 the same? It's all 3 the same. I'm going to take 3 different. And we'll just go next. Success. Okay. So we have, for 4th house, we've got success, we have the Hora, and we have the Great Corn Mother. So success shows people that use wheelchairs winning a race. So it definitely talks about overcoming obstacles here. And claiming victory. So on the home front, emotional home front, we are overcoming obstacles. And 10 of Flames, the Hora there, talks about energy moving together. So this is creative energy, women dancing in a circle, and I miss doing dances so bad, and I miss mother drums so bad, and I want to dance in a ring with a bunch of women so bad, and I want to drum. It's really hard. So, again, is there a way maybe you can virtually get together with people and move energy? I might be answering that question very soon. Hi, Jermaine. Yes, you can ask a question. Oh, God, Sheila used to be a medical transcriptionist. Yeah, I took typing in high school. When I got that job, I couldn't type for shit. I didn't know medical terminology. They plunked me down at that desk. The other choice was to be a front office person, dealing with customers, it's like, oh no, baby, stick me in the darkest closet you can find. Stick me as far away from the people as you can. So I sat down and I struggled my way. I had to force myself not to look at my hands because I couldn't pick up speed if I was watching my hands, and I ended up with one of the fastest typists ever. I mean, I typed in bursts. It was fun. I like to type. Okay. Then we have the Great Corn Mother, Taurus, the Mother of Pentacles. So for the fourth house, this is about making your home a welcoming place, keeping it clean. So when you are there, you feel nurtured, you feel clean, you feel good, you feel well fed, making good food for your family, nurturing everybody that is in your home right now. That's definitely fourth house stuff. And I think that's what it is here, that whoever is in your home circle doing things with everybody all together. Not just, we're all together, but we don't have any activities together except maybe eating. Do something together with those people. A chunk fell. Okay, so we have the void and change. All right, don't be afraid to look into the big what ifs. Don't be afraid to look into like whatever your big scary is. I've said before, my counselor that I had way back when I was going through big core stuff would always make me name my fear. I'd call her just blind with terror that, I was going to die or something. And she would just say, what are you most afraid of? And make me name it. So look into the void. What are you most afraid of? And then let that go. Is that happening now? No, but it's good to be mindful and to have a plan. If this were to happen, this is what I would do. It's always good to think about, if this were to happen, this is what I would do. And then let it go. And then we have change here. So Cancer, it's saying that it's also saying that you need to change and pull yourself out of the abyss and out of the void. If you find yourself really wallowing in dark emotions, and especially if people around you are depressed, you're going to be depressed. So get out in the sunshine. The antidote to the dark is what? The light. Change this. Change your light, change your surroundings, and liven yourself up that way, Cancer. Okay. Jermaine, any message from Spirit? Well, that's what I'm doing here, honey. I'm putting out messages from Spirit, but I mean, if you're asking about like a particular spirit for you, I don't work that way. I'm not a medium. Sometimes things will come through, but that would be like in a personal reading setting. So, the way I go about this is I'm talking about houses and the signs that correspond with them. So I'll describe the area of life, and then you can listen for your sun, moon, or rising sign. Of course, coming in at this time, we're almost done, so you might have to watch the video tomorrow if you haven't heard your sign go by the end. Okay, this is third house. We're talking about communications, neighborhood stuff, Gemini. Oop, you go. Oop, whoop, hey. There's one. Ishel. Eagle woman. All right, let's be done with that. Amaterasu. All right. And celebration. So we have the Crone of Blades, which is Aquarius, Eagle Woman, the Sun, and celebration. So third house, Eagle Woman here talks about taking a really high view, taking a step way back so that you can get a way broader picture of things. Okay? So in our communications, in our basic ideas about things, in our basic day-to-day functioning of life, which is also third house, it's kind of logistics, the intellect or the logistical part of your mind, scheduling things. When we're drilling down in the day-to-day details every day, every once in a while you need to take a step way back, and that's what the eagle does. It flies way up so it can see the broad landscape, so you can see broader patterns. So whatever you're at here, and this goes for Gemini too, but in your communications, if you're feeling overwhelmed or something, take a step way back, look at the broad picture from back then until forward, and see if you can discern some of the patterns. Amaterasu is the sun, so it uh, communicating your creative ideas. Wrong book. Okay, I'm gonna look up her page instead of flipping. Flipping. She is page 42. Okay. And eagle is the highest octave of Scorpio. It talks about rising above, transcending, but definitely that far sightedness, far view. The heat giving of life, she is nature, she is the illumination of our existence, seeing clearly with the joy and delight of a child. So again, we have that idea of play and delight and bringing things out into the sunlight, going outside. We're on the waning part of summer now. Fall is coming, folks. Get out there and enjoy fresh air and sunshine. Play in your yard, roll in the grass, something to just enjoy the day. And then celebration here. So third house is elementary education. And it's kind of the small ideas, not the big ideas, not the philosophy and religion. It's the little ideas. So maybe spend some time thinking about what is there to celebrate. And if you have, we have a couple birthdays in August, but summer is kind of our not so busy time with birthdays. Spring is really busy for us with birthdays. So, end of summer can be like, yeah, there's really not anything to look forward to until, whatever. Find a reason to celebrate. Throw a party in your family for no reason at all. Get cake. Pretend it's somebody's birthday. Have an unbirthday. I don't know. Have a good time. Celebrate. And then the void comes up here for you too, Gemini. Gemini likes to fill a void with a lot of talk and ideas and chatter. So for you, Gemini, I think it's time to kind of pursue the void a little bit. Pursue some open, empty space in your mind. Be an airhead, Gemini. You're natural at it. No, I don't mean that. You get accused of it, I know. But be just kind of open your mind and let things be empty and try to empty the thoughts. Or just, here's the image, Gemini. Clear blue sky. That's your clear mind. Thoughts are clouds going across the sky. When you have thoughts come through, just watch it and go, that's a cloud, and let it go, but don't follow it. Don't make the story. So that's the message I got for you, Gemini. Time to embrace the void and not be so bogged down in logistics and thoughts of things. And then we're coming to the last one. I'm just over my hour and a half here. Okay, second house. This is Taurus. Last in line. Second house is money. All right, here we go. Money and resources, folks. What do we need to know here? Okay. May I have one more for Taurus, please? All right, I'm going to take the last one off the top. We have the High Priestess, Isis. We have the Maiden of Cups, Pisces, and we have Celebration again. Okay, so as far as money goes and values, the Priestess card is talking about really getting money in perspective right now and bringing some real wisdom to it, not just knowledge, but wisdom. So I'm thinking about looking at the resources you have month to month and really looking at how you can maximize those, how you can trim your expenses down any way you can so that you can continue to make it okay. But that's going to take being really honest and just kind of being very connected with what the situation is. This is okay. Also calling in your spirit helpers around money. Please, facilitate this moving through my life. The Maiden of Cups, Pisces. Okay, so, when we have an earth house like Taurus's house, but we're talking in the realm of spirit here, I think it just means we need to adjust our perspective on things and looking at the material, keeping it in perspective with the rest of our lives, making sure that we're getting the joy from it that we want, making sure that our values, how we spend our money, is in line with our spiritual values, and then celebration, saying use those resources to do something nice for yourself, to take yourself out of the day to day doldrums. One last card here, Taurus. All right. Beginnings. That's a great way to end. So, Taurus, it's time to get some new things started, maybe some new, up your skill level in dealing with money, but get a new project started in the material, looking around your house, taking care of your plants, neatening up your yard, thinking about how am I going to put all this stuff to bed come fall and winter, time to start sort of planning ahead that way and getting started on those projects. So, Priestess over here too talks about bringing your intuition to bear in money matters and bringing that deep wisdom to bear. It also says, don't do things until you're sure. Don't do things until you're clear. As far as money goes, that's what the Priestess is saying. Wait until you know. Remember this phrase, when you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Because when you don't know what to do and you're freaking out because I feel like I need to do something, I'm trying to be responsible, that's when you fuck up the worst. Because you're forcing an action based on not true wisdom, based on not really knowing what needs to be done. When you know what to do, you know what to do. It's clear. Go for it, you know? But when you don't know what to do, don't do anything. Okay. Spoon, I'm glad you like that image. It's a great meditation when you do Zazen. That's one of the images they give you. For the water signs, imagine a glass full of clear water and it's got colored sand in it. Take a stick, stir it up and watch the water get all muddy with the sand. That's your mind clouded with thoughts. And then you watch the water settle and you watch all of the sand settling down, and that's, you let your thoughts settle out and leave the clear water behind. So it's nice to have that air image and that water image as well. I don't really have an earth and a fire image for the clearing of the mind, but you know, I'm sure you could come up with something. I don't know. Anyhow, I hope you got something out of that. And Kay say, that's a really personal question that I don't know I can answer, especially since my time is up tonight. Pop in next week at 8:30 on Wednesdays. Come at the beginning, and I usually ask if people have questions and things in the beginning and help to focus in. So please feel free to come here at the beginning every Wednesday, 8:30 Eastern. Please, if you like my channel, and I've been getting such wonderful messages, and that's it, wonderful messages from my viewers, just the sweetest things, and it makes me feel so good, and it makes me so very grateful for you. So if you like my channel, if you like what I do here, and you'd like to support this work, please click the donate button below. And share my channel. If you know somebody you think would like it, please let them know. I'm going to be doing a push to kind of push my subscribers up, but I'm not going to get trendy. I would just like to have, you know, more subscribers, although it's been growing very nice and organically, and I'm not really doing anything to push that. But I am going to be offering a lot to my subscribers. So I hope you're one of them. And if you're not, hit that button. Tell me that you like what I'm doing. Feel free to comment. This Friday, I am unboxing the Mists of Avalon Oracle. So check that out. And Monday, there will be another, next Monday, I'm going to review the Hush Tarot. So Mists of Avalon Oracle, and on Monday, the Hush Tarot. And they're both gorgeous decks. I can't wait to show them to you. So take care, everybody. I hope you're hanging in there. I hope that you can find some joy in this nice little Leo window that we have. We have had virus coming closer around us, and it's gotten very scary a couple of times, and we are so very careful. We don't go anywhere. We don't see anybody, you know, but somebody had somebody in their household that slipped, and there was a scare that came really close. So anyhow, keep yourself safe. Please wash your hands. Please wear a mask. And I'm going to be selling some of the masks that I make sometime soon. I'm structuring. So, thank you. I appreciate you all. I love you all. Please stay safe. Please, all that shit that I just said that I'm repeating now. I hate it when people repeat themselves. So I will see you next week live. I'll see you on Friday. Till then, this is the Zen Witch. Blessed be. Mwah.